We request our chief guest, Shri Dr. K. Jayakumar, Secretary to AICC, to deliver the special address for this special function.
Respected President of this meeting, Dr. Ambedkar, the greatest Indian and the world's most talented among the top 100 persons, beloved brother and Vice President of IT Seva, Mr. Padmanabhan IRS. We are always used to IAS much. And my most beloved and respected Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Chennai, Mr. Senthamari Kannan, IRS, Mr. Damodaran, Mr. Nandakumar, President of IT Seva, and Ramesh Babu, Treasurer of IT Seva, and K. Kumar, President, TNIT OBC Association, and Mr. Subramaniam, who was more instrumental in bringing me over here. My most beloved brothers and sisters. Last month, 15th, if I remember it correctly, I addressed a meeting on reservation and promotion for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in a hall at T. Nagar. I think perhaps that meeting has prompted Mr. Subramanian to make me to speak over here. I wish that he should have given me some other topic. But yet, this topic fascinated me, and therefore I agreed to come for the meeting. I am indeed thankful to our Chief Commissioner and to Mr. Padmanabhan and those who are present over here to listen my views and opinions on various issues concerning to the greatest India. I am indeed happy to talk on this topic, the greatest Indian. Perhaps Mr. Subramaniam and other friends who have come and taken my date, I feel have some doubt about me. I really feel that they have some doubt. That is how they have printed the topic here. They should have left it as the greatest Indian. Perhaps Mr. Subramaniam thought, if the topic happens to be greatest Indian, Jayakumar being a congressman and a secretary in All India Congress Committee with Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi and other great leaders of Manmohan Singh, etc., may slip over and talk about some other person as the greatest Indian. And therefore, to clarify the situation and to put me out of that doubt, he has mentioned the topic, the greatest Indian, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Perhaps Mr. Subramaniam and other friends might have felt much uncomfortable with me after taking the date. I am a little difficult person to be handled. I myself know about it, that sometimes I unnecessarily trouble people. Particularly, I trouble Mr. Subramaniam and his friends beyond a point. I put hundreds of conditions to come for this meeting. The first condition was that I pinpointedly asked him, why are you doing this meeting and why on this topic? I told him, why are you doing the meeting? Please avoid, and it is a message to the people present over here, don't make the scheduled caste people to speak about the scheduled castes. Please avoid that situation. Make others to speak. Listen others what to say. Let them come and say what they wanted to say about the scheduled caste and the scheduled caste leaders, including Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. And therefore, I insisted upon him, I am not coming if it is the meeting to be organized by the employees of the SC/ST Association Income Tax. I refused. Then I suggested, why not your employees association organize? Why SC/ST employees? Why not? Why you people own and carry away Ambedkar with you? Leave him. Please leave Ambedkar. Let the other people carry him for some time. Let the other people talk about Babasaheb Ambedkar. Fittingly speaking, the General Employees Association should have organized this meeting. But while I am a bit sad about it, I am happy that at least the Backward Classes Employees Association joined in this and given a supporting hand, and they said, yes, we are here. Babasaheb worked for us also. In the Constitution you can see, in the most of the places, if at all anyone take the pain to count in the Constitution of India, in all the articles, 395 articles, you can see maximum number of words used among the castes is for the backward classes and not for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. He assumed the scheduled caste is also backward classes, and the word backward classes in the Constitution is used in the general term, including the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Therefore, backward classes are also part of it, and Babasaheb Ambedkar were responsible for the reservation for the backward classes are also, and he made a provision in the Constitution earlier. If there is no adequate representation of the backward classes, the state has the powers to do whatever they want to improve their position, including the reservation. It is the constitutional provision that had brought reservation for the backward classes are also part of it. Therefore, my friends, our brother here, while speaking, explained about the system followed and various TV channels has done a survey, etc. To an extent, it is a reliable survey. Though I don't take cognizance of what was the outcome of it for various reasons which I don't want to mention, it is a reliable survey. When they started the survey, they did not start it in a very serious mood. They said why the survey was started? To create interest in the subject in an entertaining and informal way. That is the objective of the channel. To create an interest in the subject in an entertaining and an informal way. But in the middle it has turned out very serious. Because the result was going not in an expected direction. The result was going far away. Unexpected things are happening. And therefore, the same channel anchor said, it is heartening to note. It is heartening to note that in a country where cricket, Hollywood, Bollywood, Kollywood, etc. is leading the propaganda, is occupying the channel, occupying the minds of the people, it is heartening to note that the nationalists and the nation builder have topped the list. Unexpected reply. And that too, when the reply came out, when an analysis was given, I happened to see it in the YouTube at a later date, at what the survey was. When you go through it, the younger generation stood by the survey and majority of the younger people have voted for it. It is a plus point in this country. It is a very plus point. Therefore, the survey has become a reliable survey. And the yardstick they have used is the person whom the people wanted to vote or select by the juries or by the market survey or by the popular vote. The person should be influential, he should be iconic, and he should be inspiring. Above all, he should have impacted the lives of the individual in this country. He should have impacted the services of the person, the services of the individual whom they wanted to vote, should have impacted the lives of the individual. Considering this tall yardstick kept, that is influential, iconic, inspirational, and also he should have impacted, he or she should have impacted the life of the individual, the people have voted. The people have voted Babasaheb Ambedkar as the greatest Indian. It is really heartening to note that the youths have come forward and voted for him, and including myself, many of the youths have not seen him. They might have heard, they might have listened, they might have gone through some literature here and there with a half-baked information, with a very weak platform. Yet they consider that this is the man, he is the greatest Indian this country had seen, and they have voted for him. The point here is, during his time, Babasaheb Ambedkar was considered as a British stooge. He was considered as the handpicked person to weaken the independent movement of this country. This was the main charge against Babasaheb Ambedkar, that he is a British stooge. I do not know how many of you have read Arun Shourie. I read Arun Shourie. I rather read the negative material more than the positive material. I rather read the criticism more than the appreciation. Arun Shourie perhaps is the only person who has given a very long documented book of worshipping false gods. The hero of worshipping false gods is Dr. Ambedkar. And he tried to castigate Babasaheb Ambedkar. He tried to defame Babasaheb Ambedkar. And he has given some rubbish documents here and there to say that Babasaheb Ambedkar was a British stooge. And he was the handpicked man of British. And he is not for the independence of this country. And he is against the independence. Therefore, that he cannot be trusted and he cannot be considered as the greatest person of this country. But the survey has gone differently. The survey has taken various components into consideration. And the survey people felt that he is a patriotic Indian. He is a nationalist. I am just going to give 5 or 6 reasons why Babasaheb Ambedkar has been considered as the great patriot and a great nationalist. Take Roundtable Conference 1. Babasaheb Ambedkar was known for the world and known for the country after Roundtable Conference 1. In Roundtable Conference 1, there are about 89 Indians participated. And in that meeting, the princely states kings were also there. The person who has given funds for Dr. Ambedkar to acquire higher education in the foreign countries, in London and Germany and other places, the Prince of Maharashtra, the King of Baroda, was also there in the meeting as a representative of the princely states. In that meeting, when the opportunity came to Babasaheb Ambedkar, every Indian sitting over there, Babasaheb Ambedkar was there, and Gandhi did not attend that meeting. Every Indian went over there, were looking at Babasaheb Ambedkar, that he is going to blast the Indian leaders, he is going to blast the independent movement. Everyone were expecting that Babasaheb Ambedkar is going to do that. Even the British was expecting that he is going to support that independence is not needed. That was the expectation of the people there. But Babasaheb Ambedkar, when he spoke, he attacked the British left and right. He said that British has done nothing to India. You divide the people and rule, that is your objective. Before you come here, my people did not get water. After you come also, my people did not get water. Before you come, our people did not get the entry into the temple. After you come, 150 years, you have done nothing. The status, whatever the status of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in the country, before the British have entered, is same after 150 years of your rule. Therefore, we, the people of India, wanted a government by the people, for the people, and to the people. This was the proclamation of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. He stood as a great nationalist. Every Indian clapping for Babasaheb Ambedkar, and every British representing the British Empire in the meeting, looking at each other, what this man is doing. We thought that he is going to support us. We can prolong in India for some more time. But he changed his colors. No, this is not acceptable to us. That was the feeling of the British. And finally he said, before giving independence, please take care of the interest of my people. In India, every 5th man is a scheduled caste. and 1/5 of the population is the scheduled caste. They are treated as dogs and cats in their own country. After having 150 years, when you are going to give freedom for my country, you must consider before the freedom for my people. This is the slogan of Baba Saheb Ambedkar in the Round Table Conference 1. He got acclamation free every quarters. You know what had happened subsequent to that? You know who is the most happiest man in the meeting? The greatest mind, the greatest heart, the largest heart was the King of Baroda. And he felt, I have financial studies, I have got the benefit out of it. My person, my son, my subject is doing justice to the people in this country. As a reward, Baroda king organized a dinner for a select group of very highly placed people in London at that point of time, and Baba Saheb Ambedkar was honored by Baroda king. This was the situation. And then comes the great Pune Pact. Even our brother has mentioned about the Pune Pact. When we were discussing with our chief commissioner, we were discussing about the Pune Pact, to what an extent Baba Saheb lost the battle. I am a man, I always say that Baba Saheb lost the battle in Pune Pact. After Round Table Conference, Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of the British Empire, where the sun will not set, gave an award called Commonwealth Award, which is the Commonwealth Award, that is the 2-vote system for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and single vote for the other people. The great award that would have saved these people for generations and centuries to come. But Baba Saheb Ambedkar could not save it. If I put it this way, this is correct. Please don't become sensitive. I am a person to say what I feel. I am not a person to say what you feel. What I feel is Baba Saheb has lost the battle. He could not fight the battle. He has no strength to fight the battle. Because on one side, the poor, dumb, the mouthless people, voiceless people, the people for whom he is fighting his life on one side, and he got the benefits for them from the British Empire and not from Indian government. And on the other side, the life of Mahatma was on the question whether Mahatma will survive or not. Gandhi will survive or not. He was fasting. 4th day passed. Rajaji, Vallabhbhai Patel, and other great leaders, they all went and met Baba Saheb Ambedkar in his house. And they requested Baba Saheb Ambedkar, please come down. Please come down, otherwise this old man will die. You know, he is an adamant person. He sat on fast. He is in the jail and fasting. If you don't come down and come for a compromise and give away the 2-vote system, what you got from the British Empire, and agree for the reserved seats, this man will die and the entire blame will come on you. Please come down. The people went and begged. Baba Saheb Ambedkar told them, please forgive me. Please forgive. If you all tie me to the electric post opposite my house and hang me to death, I will not budge from the rights what I got from the British government for my people. This is my battle of life. How can he expect me to do this? But when he went to Pune jail, when he saw Gandhi fasting over there, Gandhi was a towering personality. Gandhiji was needed for the country. If Gandhiji was not there, freedom struggle cannot go ahead. It will disintegrate. Baba Saheb felt he should be saved. Let me compromise. He should be saved for the country's sake, not for the life of Gandhiji, but for the independence of this country. But for Gandhi, this independence is not possible. India should be redeemed from the British hand, and India should become a freedom nation. And therefore, for this country's sake, I sacrifice the rights of the people. This is what Baba Saheb has done. This is where he lost the battle. He sacrificed the life of the people for the freedom's sake. Any person in this country who feels that Baba Sahib is not a patriot and is not a nationalist, I feel that he is only a lunatic who can feel that Baba Sahib is not a patriot. And the third situation is much more important. That he is a patriot. How he is a patriot? Conversion came. I'm just jumping from point to point, no time. Conversion came. I don't want to hold you for a long. Baba Sahib doesn't want to continue in this wretched religion called Hinduism, where his people did not get any rights. And therefore he decided that Hinduism is not a religion. And he gave a clarion call to the people and said, I am born Hindu, but I will not die as a Hindu, he said. I am born Hindu, I will not die as a Hindu. He has done a great research on various religions, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, all religions he has analyzed, researched, and he found finally that his patriotic feeling has guided him to adopt a religion. Buddhism is the religion of this land. You take any other religion except Jainism. All the other religions, the churches have approached Baba Sahib Ambedkar and begged him, please come to my religion, Christianity. The gigantic population, the gigantic following of Baba Sahib Ambedkar had gone to the Islam. The Nizam of Hyderabad was literally holding him. You should join Islam. My friends, let me tell you today, had Baba Sahib adopted Islam, India will be a minority country on that date. The entire history of India might have changed. India would be only up to Vindhyas. And one part of half India is Hindu land and half India would be a Muslim land had Baba Sahib. The contour of the country would have changed. The India would have attained freedom for a small portion of the country, not for a bigger portion of the country. And Baba Sahib, every fifth person is a scheduled caste in this country and untouchable in this country. Had with Baba Sahib, that time the population of the scheduled caste was 6 crores and the total population of the country was 30 crores. Every 1/5 of the Indian was a scheduled caste, and those people followed Baba Sahib Ambedkar, gone into Islam. India would not be an India. There wouldn't be an India called that country. That was the situation of that time. Again, Baba Sahib raised to the occasion and he said, no, I will not do any harm to my country. A great patriot, Baba Sahib said, I will not do any harm to my country. And therefore, the religion of this country is Buddhism. And Buddha is not a god. That is another thing he said. Buddha is not a god. He is a man who had shown the path of life, who has shown the principles of life, who has shown how a person can keep himself happy. I want to keep my people happy. With my people, I will take Buddhism. No other religion will command my mind. And he joined Buddhism just for the sake of his patriotic reasons, just because he is a great nationalist this country had seen him. And then comes the other important aspects. Articles of the Constitution. I'll come later to the Constitution. Straight away I will go the nationalistic attitude of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Every article of the Constitution bear the stamp of nationalism in that. You take any article and any argument. There were 10,000 pages of debates taken place, and there were more than 2,000 amendments accepted out of more than 7,000 amendments placed in the House. 2,000 amendments have been debated and the Constitution was finalized. And every article of the Constitution bear the stamp of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. And he proved that he is a great nationalist. A parliamentary democracy he has given. He said the executive, the parliament, that is the politicians and the judiciary, these 3 pillars of the Constitution cannot function without the help of the others. One cannot overrule the other. One cannot overrule the other. This is the intricate constitution, the best constitution in the world. To do the constitution. He has done great research on several things. Let me come to the constitution of it. Constitution Assembly, CA, Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly was constituted by the British. They have decided to give freedom. Okay, now we will constitute the assembly. They have selected people from every part of the country, from every assembly. The people have been selected for the Constituent Assembly. Baba Saheb Ambedkar was from Bombay region. He was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. He could not become a member of the Constituent. That is the right point. He could not become. There was no one to support him from the then Bombay state to send Baba Saheb Ambedkar to the Constitution Assembly. And there comes a great man called Jogindernath Mandal. Baba Sahib is grateful to him first and last. The scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, as long as the caste system exists in this country, the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes should be grateful to Jogindernath Mandal. I have done a research. Who is this Jogindernath Mandal? Jogindernath Mandal is a member of the Constituent Assembly elected from East Bengal, Pakistan. That time no East Pakistan. The Constituent Assembly was constituted on 9th of December 1946, before independence. And the Constituent Assembly has got members from various parts of the country elected from the assemblies, like our Rajya Sabha members. Nominations or elections. Baba Saheb Ambedkar could not go. No one to elect Baba Saheb Ambedkar from Bombay. Jogindernath Mandal got elected from the West Bengal, from the Scheduled Caste Federation. And he said, my master Baba Saheb Ambedkar, the legal luminary, has no place in the assembly. I will not go into the assembly. That was the turning point. Let us not forget history. I said, I read the critics more than the people who praise. Jogindernath Mandal said, I will not go into the Constituent Assembly. My master is not there, Baba Saheb Ambedkar is not there. What I am going to do? I am not going. He called Baba Saheb Ambedkar, I will not go. You come to Bengal, he is a powerful man in this region. You come to East Bengal. And he resigned his job, Constituent Assembly membership, and he got Baba Saheb Ambedkar elected from the East Bengal. He made Baba Saheb Ambedkar to go into the Constituent Assembly. This is the history, this is the turning point. A great sacrifice he has done for the cause of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Scheduled caste should be respectable to him, because whatever Baba Sahib has achieved, because of that opening he got. Constituent Assembly convened on 9th December. Please listen this history. Very interesting history. I'll take some time, sir. 9th December 1946, Constituent Assembly joined. And Nehruji was about to move the objectives and the aims of our constitution. He was to move in the house for voting, for discussion. Nehruji moved it on 13/12, and the Muslim League made a walkout. No, we are not a part of the system. We don't want to be a part of India. We want Pakistan. We are going out. They made a walkout. Muslim League made a walkout. Next day on 16th, 3 days later, when the House joined, Nehruji took up the session. Rajendra Prasad was the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. The debate started when Jayakar stood up and said, this is not fair. Jayakar was a Congress member. He said, it is not fair to go with the discussion. Please call them. They are also a majority, large number of Muslim population here. They are Muslim representatives. Without them, we go for a constitution. It will not be a real constitution. Please call them. Let them discuss. And they did not come inside the house. When the house joined again on 17th of September, unexpectedly, it happens. This is how the responsibility comes. This is how the turning point takes place. On 17th of December 1946, straight away Rajendra Prasad ji called Baba Saheb Ambedkar to speak on the resolution. Baba Saheb Ambedkar gave a scintillating speech. He attracted everybody's mind. Again he proved that he is not a representative of the scheduled caste there. He is the representative of the country. He talked for the country. He talked about nationalism. He said without that Muslim League, if we go ahead, it is not good. They are part of India. They are part of Indians. We will make them to come. We have to take the majority with us. And he talked nationalism. Everybody expected that this man is going to talk about the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. When he started talking about the nation building, how India should be, what should be his future, he gave an excellent speech on that day. Everybody came and congratulated Baba Saheb Ambedkar for his nationalist feelings, for his patriotic feelings. Then Baba Saheb Ambedkar was made member of every committee. That is how Baba Saheb Ambedkar brought Chakra into the flag. He was the member of the flag committee. Any committee you take, Baba Saheb Ambedkar was there. 6 months it went like that. Then becomes another blow for Baba Saheb Ambedkar. The Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, has announced partition of Pakistan. Partition of Pakistan came, then what had happened you can guess. Baba Sahib has become outside the house. He lost his seat. Pakistan gone out and he is representative of Pakistan. If at all he wants to continue as a member of the Legislative Assembly, he should have gone to the Pakistan Constitution Assembly, not India Constitution Assembly. Baba Sahib lost his seat. A great situation. On June 3rd, announcement of Pakistan took place. Then 6 months he has given a hard work. Then comes the first time I had seen this great country had come to a situation of no person available to do the work in that house. This is the greatness of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Rajendra Prasad wrote a letter. A sense of indispensability came into existence. A sense of indispensability. Baba Saheb Ambedkar has become indispensable for the Constituent Assembly as a member. Rajendra Prasad, the chairman, wrote a letter to whom? To the Chief Minister, G.B. Kher of Maharashtra then. Please see that Baba Sahib is a member of the House. Get him elected from the Maharashtra Assembly. Somewhere he should be elected as a member. Therefore, Rajendra Prasad wrote a letter at the end of July 1946 that you see that Baba Sahib is elected from Bombay and he is made a member of the House. Then followed on 1st July, the next day, 1st July, Vallabhbhai Patel wrote a letter. They are the records. They are available in the files. They are there in the books. Vallabhbhai Patel wrote a letter again to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Please see that Baba Saheb Ambedkar is elected as the member of the Constituent Assembly from Maharashtra. Please send him to the Constituent Assembly from Maharashtra. Literally, they were begging the Chief Minister, and he should be elected before 14th of July. 1st July, he wrote a letter giving 14 days time to the Chief Minister. He is a Congress Chief Minister. Please see that Baba Saheb Ambedkar is elected from Maharashtra, that is Bombay, and sent to the Assembly because we need his services. Baba Sahib has created a situation of indispensability. He has become indispensable in the Constituent Assembly. He won the hearts of the people, gave his hard work, his knowledge, nobody to match over there. Everyone wanted Baba Sahib Ambedkar in the House. And the rest is history. He unopposedly elected from the Bombay Assembly and he went as a member. This is how Baba Sahib became member of the House. Then, sometime in July end, that is July end 1947 now, India is going to get the freedom of 15th. Somewhere in July end, the great leader Nehru and Sarojini Naidu went to meet Mahatma Gandhi. When they went and met, Gandhi inquired Nehruji, very interesting story. Gandhi inquired Nehruji, what happened to the writing of the Constitution, what the Constituent Assembly is doing. Meanwhile, Gandhiji got an excellent report from Rajaji, from Rajendra Prasad, from Vallabhbhai Patel, from Bapu Jagjivan Ram. They all went reported to Gandhiji that Baba Saheb Ambedkar is doing an excellent work in the Assembly. He is a great knowledgeable man. India got a greatest son in Ambedkar. He is a wonderful person and he is doing excellent job. Then he said, Nehruji, our Ambedkar is there. He is doing an excellent job. Why don't you make him to write the constitution? It is Mohan Karamchand Gandhi made Baba Saheb Ambedkar to write the constitution. It is Karamchand Gandhi made Ambedkar to write the constitution. Therefore, Gandhi became Mahatma because he kept this country's welfare. He kept the people. Baba Saheb Ambedkar அவர்கள் சொன்னாரே என்னை விட இந்த நாடு பெரியது என்று அதை காந்திஜி அவர்கள் அங்கே செய்து காட்டினார். என்னை விட இந்த நாடு பெரியது. இந்த நாட்டிற்கு விடிவு காலம் வர வேண்டும் என்றால் அது அம்பேத்கர் கொடுத்ததாக இருக்கட்டுமே என்று அவர் வழிகாட்டுகின்ற அந்த சட்டமாக இருக்கட்டுமே என்ற வாய்ப்பினை அளித்தவர் மகாத்மா காந்தி. எனவேதான் மோகன்சந்த் கரம்சந்த் காந்தி அவர்கள் மகாத்மா காந்தி என்கின்ற பட்டத்தை பெற்றார். மறுக்க முடியாது, இதுவும் வரலாறு. We may talk about the greatest man today. No doubt. The greatest man topic itself is wrong. This is an uncomparable comparison in my words. This is an uncomparable comparison. You cannot compare things like this. It is an haphazardous way of comparing things. It is an erratic way of comparing things. It is a wild way of comparing things. Let us not get into the wild way of comparing things. Like Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Gandhiji loved this nation. There is a difference, no doubt. Baba Saheb Ambedkar wanted a country with liberty, equality and fraternity. There is a difference between Gandhi and Ambedkar in this issue. Gandhi thought this caste system, this caste issues is a simple thing. I will get the freedom tomorrow. Day after I will make all these people great people of India. That is the thinking of Gandhi perhaps. But Baba Saheb Ambedkar, a great visionary, thought once the wisdom independence comes, again these people, only the master will change. This is the thinking of Baba. Only the master will change, but the conditions of the poor will be the same. And he said Mahatmas may come and Mahatmas will go, but the poor people in this country remain as it is. He said it. There is no doubt about it. I have no hesitation in mixing the things and to talk before you. This is the reality. But for Gandhi, but for Joginder Nath Mandal, we would not have seen the billions. We would not have seen the ability. We would not have seen the capacity. We would not have seen the indomitable Baba Saheb Ambedkar. This is the fact of the day. This is the fact of the history. And apart from that, the Congress had faith in Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Let us not forget. It is a very critical job. Baba Saheb Ambedkar is a leader of a group. He fights always for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. But yet, Congress leadership and Mahatma Gandhi thought he is a patriot of sterling worth. முதலாக பாபா சாஹேப் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் காந்தியை சந்திக்கின்றார் மணிபவனிலே. The first meeting between them in Bombay. Gandhi did not know who was Ambedkar. Please note. Gandhi did not know that Ambedkar is a Dalit leader. He thought Baba Saheb Ambedkar is a Brahmin working for the development of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. During that meeting, after the round table conference, when they met, when Baba Saheb argued with him and he said, I don't have a homeland. He said, Baba Sahib, you may say that you don't have a homeland, but I know what you talked in the round table conference. You are a man of great patriot, worth sterling, he said. உன்னுடைய மதிப்பு எத்தனையோ கோடி கோடி அளவிட முடியாத மதிப்பு. ஏனென்றால் இந்த நாட்டின் மீது நீ வைத்திருக்கின்ற பாசம் பற்று மிக உயர்ந்தது, அதை நான் அறிவேன் என்று பாபா சாஹிப் அவர்களுக்கு புகழாரம் சூடியவர் காந்தி அவர்கள். பாபா சாஹிப் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் ஒரு ஹரிஜன், ஒரு தலித் என்று தெரியாத காலகட்டத்திலேயே இதையும் நாம் இங்கே மறந்துவிடக் கூடாது. எனவே அருமை சகோதரர்களே, there are several things to speak. There are quite a lot to discuss. If I go into the Constitution, Article 32, Article 54, Article 155, Article 334, 356, Baba Saheb Ambedkar has put his stamp on every article. Article 32 is the fundamental rights. No country has the provision for any citizen of the country to go to the Supreme Court straight. No country. In India, if an individual's right, a fundamental right of an individual is affected, Straight away he can petition the Supreme Court, bypassing Article 226. Regular procedure for any other issue is one should go first to the lower courts, next court, then to the Supreme Court. Article 226 procedure. But Article 226 put aside. Fundamental right is affected, you can straight away go to the Supreme Court. This is the wonderful thing he has brought into this constitution. Article 54 is the president. He is a great man, knew about what is happening in America and what is happening in London, what is happening in the other countries. He has mixed the crown system with the democracy and he has brought in both. Article 54 provides for the president without power. There was a great debate in the House. Everybody said, why we have a president without power? Then he explained to them clearly and everybody accepted, yes, Baba Sahib, you are correct. Dr. Ambedkar is always correct in the House. Article 158, appointment of a governor, same system. Article 334, MLAs, MPs, reservation in the House. There was an uproar in the House. We will allow only for 10 years. Baba Sahib is a visionary. He knew about the future. He said, okay, I am telling you, you said it is in record. I am telling you, you cannot implement this 10 year. The politicians in this country will not leave you just like that. That is why some of you know, many of you may not know, the political reservation is for 10 years only. Whereas the other reservations is no time limit. Some people say that other reservations also have a time limit. No. But after 10 years, whether you like it or not, it is automatically extended. Baba Sahib said on the other day, you cannot stop this provision. I am telling you today, it is in the proceedings of the House that the reservation for the MPs and MLAs and the elected posts will go on extending for every 10th year. Article 356 is a wonderful act. He said, Article 356 is to dismiss the state government. State government can be dismissed only if there is a constitutional machinery failure. If there is an inefficiency of the government. Bihar Chief Minister not doing well. Other Chief Ministers are not doing well. Inefficiency. Nothing is happening. Central government cannot interfere. Once in 5 years, people alone can change the government. Any other system, constitution cannot change them. But only if there is a constitutional failure, the state government can be dismissed. These are the wonderful pieces of the constitution. Many countries do not have. These are all the original thinking of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. I don't want to take much of time. There are very many people after his last speech in the assembly, parliament. They paid a rich tribute, except one man, all have praised him. T.T. Krishnamachari praised him. Alladi Krishnasamy praised him. All members of the constitution praised him. And one man, it is worth reading, Kandekar. He said, I'll read verbatim. Baba Sahib Ambedkar gave Mahar law. Baba Sahib Ambedkar belongs to a Mahar community, you all know that. It is a name of the community of the scheduled caste in Maharashtra. Baba Sahib Ambedkar gave Mahar law. The constitution is a Mahar law, he said. On 26th of January 1950, law of Manu will be replaced by the law of Mahar. Unlike law of Manu, law of Mahar make India virtually a paradise. Social, political, religious reformers in the country like Gautam Buddha, Ramanuja, Kabir, Saint Tukaram, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Paramahamsa, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Vittal Ranji, Shinde, Thakkar Baba, last, but I am just producing as it is, last but not the least, Mahatma Gandhi found it difficult to get rid of the ghost called untouchability. They agitated but did not succeed. Bhimrao Ambedkar, with the stroke of his pen, removed untouchability. Untouchability is abolished. Jai Bhim. This is what the Kandekar has said in the assembly. A great compliment he has paid. And Babu Rajendra Prasad, the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, said, we could never make a decision which was or could be ever so right as even we put him, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, in drafting committee and made him its chairman. he has not only justified his selection, but has added luster to the work he has done. This is the compliment given by the chairman of the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, Keir, Dhananjay Keir. He said, from the life of social leper, this is in his writing, from the life of a social leper to the position of the constitution maker and raising the downtrodden to human dignity, constitute a golden chapter in the history of India and in the history of human freedom as well. A great compliment. He has changed the entire system. He has changed the entire system. This is what again Dhananjay Keir said when he compared Babasaheb Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi. Dhananjay Keir wrote, Mahatma Gandhi is a reformer. He said Mahatma Gandhi has done a great work. He is a reformer because he doesn't want to break the caste system, but he wants to eradicate untouchability from the Hinduism. Whereas Baba Sahib is a revolutionary, he said. A reformer is the one who builds the construction on the existing foundation. He clarified further. And a revolutionary is the one who destroys everything to the bottom, builds a new structure. Baba Sahib is a revolutionary, and therefore he has given such a wonderful constitution totally based on liberty, equality and fraternity. Baba Sahib Ambedkar is a great redeemer. He is a great redeemer. He redeemed his people. After education, it is a sad system. Several of us move away from our people. Become a big officer, you don't have touch with your village. Become a great politician, you lost your track. You do not know who your relatives are. You do not know what is happening in the villages. Baba Sahib Ambedkar did not do. After his great education, after he acquired wealth, after he knew what is the comforts in life, he did not move away with the people. He remained with them, and he created a golden chapter in the history of India. He gave the slogan, educate, agitate and organize. This is invigorating the people even today. He said, self-respect without which a man is a mere zero. Self-respect without which a man zero need not live at all. And he continued to say regarding the ladies, regarding the women liberation, he brought the Hindu Code Bill. That is another story totally. But regarding the women liberation, when he talked about, he said parents are animals. He dared to say that. Parents are animals. When the parents are animals, if they do not wish to see their children in a better position than what they are. No prophet has said it. No God has said it. No man has said it, that you have to see that your children prosper in your life. Otherwise you are an animal, he said. That is the thing which worked with the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. That has made some of the scheduled castes to come up in life. That has made several scheduled caste parents to education to the people. Second World War is between the dictatorship and the democracy. The dictatorship is the Nazis. The dictatorship is Hitler. If Hitler wins this war, there will be a dictatorship in every part of the world, and it will be a tyranny for the people. Therefore, we should not support the Nazi side. To make democracy to win, we have to support the British. This is the line he took. And went to round table conference, again anti-establishment, against the wish. Congress did not participate, Baba Sahib Ambedkar went. Condemned falsehood in Hinduism. Refused to accept status by birth. These are all the great qualities and the anti-establishments. An untouchable who were kicked out of the cart. An untouchable who was segregated in the schools. An untouchable professor who was insulted in the college. An insulted, and he was outcasted from the hostels and is debarred from entry into the temples. And he became a nobody in the Constituent Assembly when the Constituent Assembly was there. From nobody, one who burned the Manusmriti was made to write the constitution, made the first law minister of this country. இதை பார்த்துத்தான் பொய்யாமொழி புலவர் தமிழ் மறையாத்த திருவள்ளுவர் சொன்னாரோ எனக்கு தெரியவில்லை. மேலிருந்தும் மேலல்லார் மேலல்லர், கீழிருந்தும் கீழல்லார் கீழல்லர் என்றார் பொய்யாமொழி புலவர் தமிழ் மறையாத்த திருவள்ளுவர். எந்த குலத்திலே பிறந்திருந்தாலும் எதை செய்தாலும் எப்படி செய்கின்றார், எவ்வளவு திறமையாக செய்கின்றார், என்ன நல்ல காரியத்தை செய்கின்றார், சமுதாயத்திற்காக எதை செய்கின்றார் என்பதுதான் மேலிருக்கின்றானா கீழ் இருக்கின்றானா என்பதை நிர்ணயிக்க வேண்டிய ஒழிய பிறவி அல்ல என்பதை வள்ளுவர் சொன்னாரே, அது பாபா சாஹேப் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்களுக்கு தான். பரிசுத்த வேதாகத்தில் இதை சொல்லப்படுகிறது. Moses, the redeemer of the Israel people from Egypt. There is a great comparison between Moses and Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Moses was brought up by the princess. Moses was brought up by the princess in the Egypt empire. Baba Saheb Ambedkar was assisted by the king of Baroda. Moses studied in a very high level of schools in those days. In Egypt, university called Temple University. That is where Moses studied. Baba Sahib studied in the best of the universities in the country, Bonn University, Columbia University, and London University. Moses was strong, determined, and courageous. Baba Sahib also a very strong man, a determined person, and a courageous person. Moses humbled before Lord, and he got 10 commandments for his people. Baba Sahib Ambedkar humbled before Buddha, and he got the way of life, and he got a religion for his despised people. And finally, Moses led the people for deliverance, and he took them out of Egypt to the promised land of Palestine. Baba Sahib Ambedkar redeemed the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes from the tyranny of untouchable, from the curses of the Hinduism, and he gave self-respect to the people, and he gave the slogan, and he gave a religion called Buddhism. தனக்காக வாழ்பவர்கள் சாதாரண மனிதன் எனப்படுகின்றனர். மதத்திற்காக வாழ்பவர்கள் மகான்கள் என்றும் மகாத்மாக்கள் என்றும் கூட அழைக்கப்படுகின்றார்கள். மக்களுக்காக வாழ்ந்து வழிபவர்கள் மனித குலத்தின் தெய்வங்கள் ஆகின்றார்கள். அந்த வகையிலே பாபா சாஹேப் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் கடவுள் என்ற ஒரு காரியத்தை நாம் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளாவிட்டாலும் புத்தர் வழியிலே மனிதருள் பிறந்த மாணிக்கமாக புத்தர் வழியிலே நடத்துபவராக நம்மை பாபா சாஹேப் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் எடுத்துச் சென்று கொண்டிருக்கின்றார். இன்றைய தலைப்பு தி கிரேட்டஸ்ட் இந்தியன். சரியாக சொல்லவில்லை எனக்கு முன்பே பேசியவர்கள். தி கிரேட்டஸ்ட் இந்தியன் ஆஃப்டர் 1947. That is the right topic discussed in the channel, but I have got the courage and conviction. I have no fear or favor, haste or hesitation to say in this occasion, today when we talk about the greatest man of this country, whether there is a prefix or a suffix, Baba Saheb Ambedkar is the greatest born on this earth. The generations to come will surprise. If they read Baba Saheb Ambedkar properly, the future generation will surprise. Whether such a man in blood and flesh walked on this earth, it is a wonder. Baba Sahib is a great man. Thank you.